Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness, how are you? We're here to talk about this new moon annual solar eclipse in Libra. Welcome to fall. Happy fall. Welcome to the fall season. Right out of the gate, when I think of Libra, I think of love. Love is truly the answer. And so excited to be here in the fall season. It feels so good. I'm wearing my pumpkin lipstick as an homage to October. Gourds are coming out, pumpkins and squash. It's a beautiful time of year. And being a fall baby, I am so biased. Also, I'm a little bit biased about Libra because my birthday is on the cusp. Depending on which astrologer or which thing you follow, I fall on the cusp. And I used to claim being a cusp baby, but all of my astrologers, including Vedic astrology, it comes through as Scorpio. So I start Scorpio. I'm at the beginning of the energy of Scorpio, and I'm proud of it. So let's get into this lunation. October 2nd, in a couple days on Tuesday, at 11:49 a.m. Pacific time, we will have the eclipse. So it actually begins at about 9:50 a.m., but the peak is around 11:45 to 11:49. The full eclipse will be at 1:39 p.m. Pacific time. And then the partial eclipse will be at 2:57 Pacific time. This lunation is coming in at 10 degrees. And if you've been listening to me long enough, you know that I love the number 10 because 10 equals a 1. This energy is about new beginnings. So let's start off by saying happy birthday, Libras, my librarians, my fellow librarians. I definitely have the shade of Libra, so being so close to Libra, you can tell because I like to dress well. I love jewelry. I love nice things. And when I think of Libra, you think of everyone I know. Most Libras are very nice people. Even if they're a little salty, they're very sweet, humble people. That's what comes to mind with Libra. And one of my favorite Libras in the world is my wonderful son. My wonderful son, Aiden, is a Libra. His birthday is coming up this month. Happy birthday to my wonderful son, Aiden. So Holly, Leanne, my Aunt Velma, my dear Aunt Velma, God rest her soul. Oh, she was literally like my first love. She was such cool beans. I had such a cool aunt. I was like 16 years old. She came to live with us for a few years. She was an OG from Chicago. Oh my God, the stories and the things. Oh my God, I just miss her so much. But she truly taught me so much about life. And she was a divine, feminine, and embodied Libra. Generous, equitable, balanced, fun-loving, just beautiful to look at. Hey, how are you? Vanessa, welcome. I hope all is well. You and Nicholas have been traveling the world. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so proud of everything that you've done and his work. Just absolutely amazing. Check out Vane Cool and The Artivist. Good to see you. And your son is growing up way too fast. Anyway, Chandra, Abby, Angela, my half-sister, Liz, Brooklyn, how are you? Happy birthday. Kimberly X, Shafika, Josh, my brother-in-law, lots of Libras, lots and lots of Libras. So let's get into this. Think of a tsunami of love because that's what Libra energy brings. And you might feel like you're in kind of a pressure cooker in this month of October, because it's a very powerful time. Eclipses come in pairs. So we just had the lunar eclipse 2 weeks ago. Now we're in the solar eclipse. So again, this is an annular eclipse. So that means there'll be a ring around it. There'll be a ring around the moon as this eclipse comes in. It's a time to tune into your breath, your heart, and find a way to drop more into stillness. The idea is you will never feel peace in your life until you feel it inside of yourself. This is kind of like a cornerstone of Libra. Libras don't expect from others what they don't expect for themselves. So Libras are the ones, they do it to themselves first, and then they look for it in others. And they will support you to find it. You will never feel love again. So the simple thing, the central theme here is relationships. Libra is the keeper of relationships. And this is the final eclipse of 2024. And this is we started the year off. We started 2024 with the lunar eclipse in Libra. And now we're wrapping it up with the solar eclipse in Libra. Kind of cool. So the idea is to look back to the lunar eclipse in Libra in the spring to see where you were at that time. Again, this solar eclipse coming through, it's a 6-month gateway. It's a 6-month time period that this eclipse is going to unfold in your life. It's not just the one day, it's for 6 months that this is going to be occurring. Hey, Clifton 661, thank you so much for joining. Okay, so this eclipse comes just 2 weeks after that full moon eclipse in Pisces, which activated the North Node. So this eclipse is in the South Node in the house of Libra. So the South Node is about karma. It's about lessons we've already learned. So that's the good news. It's like, and it's about looking at the comfort zones that we cling to. So you don't have to worry about new learnings. This is about stuff you've already learned. It's about how we're going to spiritually evolve and what we need to release and what we need to attach and detox from our lives that no longer serves a purpose here. So again, that lunar eclipse started the process, and here the heat of the solar eclipse is going to wrap it up. So this South Node has been in Libra actually since last July of 2023. And it was a part of a cycle that Aries and Libra. So when you think of Aries and Libra, Aries is the opposite sign of Libra. You know the term opposites attract. So Libra, the air of Libra, is going to fuel that Aries fire. So if you're looking for a mate, you might want to look on the opposite side of the wheel for your partner. So this Venus rule cardinal energy, Libra in the South Node highlights relationship patterns, habits, commitments that need to be put to rest. Let me repeat, relationship patterns, habits, and commitments that need to be put to rest. Because Libra is associated with harmony, beauty, balance, and it corresponds with the 7th house of partnerships and marriage. So on deck during this time, the highlight is going to be relationships of all sorts. So the sign of Libra is the justice, the scales, which represents divine law. Libra energy, Librans aren't happy until everyone else is happy, truly. They truly want the best for everyone. So the mantra of Libra is I balance. So whenever you have Libra associated with anything, they're always going to seek equity and balance and fairness towards everything. They're going to seek equilibrium. So it's naturally inclined towards, Librans are good mediators. They always bring equilibrium and harmony. And it's time of the equinox, when Libra season came in, it brought in the equinox, that even day and night, the balance like the scales. So this solar eclipse will also seek to balance the scales. So it's important to try to stay grounded right now, because eclipse energy, one of its jobs is to be destabilizing. That is the job of solar eclipse, or eclipse in general. So if you haven't been sleeping well, you've been waking up in the middle of the night, you're right on track for the eclipse energy. You might want to take a natural substance to help you sleep, because it's been a lot. So it's about time to let go and trust what truly inspires you, and to trust that what's happening for you right now is happening for a purpose. Oh, so Clifton 661, you're Gemini with the Libra moon. Okay, so you've got double air. Super intelligent, Clifton 661. Super intelligent, and all that air clears the deck. And like I say, between Gemini and Libra, the truth is truly going to set you free. Very vocal. Hi, Alice BW. Thanks for joining. Okay, so October 2nd, this solar eclipse, new moon comes in on October 2nd. 2 is the number of relationships, just like Libra governs our relationships. It's also about two sides of things. The two sides, there's always one side of the coin and the other side of the coin. This feminine energy is coming through because Libra is energized. It's a nurturing sign. And Libra asks us to go within. So it's coming in with divine feminine energy on October 2nd. So we got a lot of one energy on deck. October is the 10th one. 10 equals a 0. And the day 10/2/2024 reduces to an 11. 11 is a high spiritual number. And so 11 amplifies the energy. So it's going to amplify the energy of relationships. It's 2 energy. It's coming in on the 10th month at 10 degrees. So we've got a double 10 code energy. So think about your relationships with everything, not just relationships with money. What is your relationship with money right now? With nutrition, with platonic relationships, romantic relationships, with your partner, significant other. How are your relationships at work? How is your relationship with God? Your relationship with yourself. That is most important, that you make sure you have a good relationship with yourself. So new cycles are starting and beginning with one energy, and it's going to be how you're going to choose to relate to things going forward. So 10 equals a 1, which is new beginnings. And October is always a high holiday month in the Jewish tradition. On 10/2, it's Rosh Hashanah. 2 again, coming in on the 2nd day of October. Rosh Hashanah is the Judaism's new year. So another reason to celebrate. New year, new opportunity, new things coming in. So 1 and 0 in geometry represent the 1 represents the masculine, and the O represents the feminine. The 1 inserts itself into the 0 to create life. So we need the 2. So 1 through 9 is considered the God first, the first double digit. 0 is the one that deals with fresh ideas and fresh starts. So 0 clears the deck, so that 1 energy can come in and take over. We also have a grand trine happening. A grand trine is when 3 planets work together to create a triangle. So this grand triangle is Venus, Saturn, and Mars. They're trining to create this beautiful triangle with each other. If you know anything about geometry, you know that the triangle is one of the strongest, most harmonious, fortunate symbols in mathematics. So it also represents the Holy Trinity of Mother, Father, Child. And this grand trine can help open doors, can create flow. It just requires you, I say just in jest because it's not easy to do, requires you to be disciplined. Remember, Virgo brought that disciplinary energy in, and Capricorn is on deck. We'll talk about that in a moment. But it's a time to really, really elevate your game of discipline, because we're entering the time where we're going to start celebrating the holidays, and you want to be more disciplined. So when you get to the holiday time, you can really let go and celebrate. So the sun and the moon and Mercury are conjunct. That's also an auspicious thing at 11 degrees. Remember, the day 10/2/2024 reduces to 11, more number 1 energy. The Mercury and the Sun are at 10 degrees. Remember, 11 is a master number, and 11 is about living in the moment. We never reduce 11 to single digit, but if we did, it's a 2. So 1 and 2, lots of energy. So 11 truly is a number about giving and receiving. So Libra is going to drill down to 0 degrees of itself, which creates an instant new beginning. So this is a big new moon because it's a solar eclipse. It's a great time to plant seeds. Eclipses are good to let go of things permanently. So whatever started happening 2 weeks ago with the lunar eclipse, this solar eclipse will help you make permanent and lasting change. In order for eclipse to occur, it has to be close to one of the nodes. So in this case, like I said, it's in the south node in Libra. The south node is our past and what we're moving away from. It's what we've already achieved, like I said, what we are ending so we can have a beginning. And much like Libra, this is representing 2 sides of the scales. They have said that during eclipses, things can just come out of the blue. You could have auspicious things happen like a snap in an instant. So get ready for that. So Libra is a sign of law. And Libras can't stand lawlessness because they want equity and balance and fairness for everyone. During this time, be aware of what you can continue to let go. See the possible changes in your relationships. Again, like I said, relationships of all kinds. Be on the lookout for that. And the idea is to find the balance. This lunation, this new moon, requires that we default to the self for a greater sense of balance. Rather than looking outside of ourselves, we want to turn to ourselves to find that balance. So Pisces and Libra, they're the two of the most sensitive signs in the zodiac. So sometimes they can fall into victim perpetrator mode, and we create things in our own minds and hearts. So the idea is stepping back to find better balance with yourself and your relationship and where you fit in society. Where do you fit in your social circle? So the planet Venus is the ruling planet of Libra. Venus is associated with that love, beauty, and harmony that I spoke about. And it's said to influence the personality traits of Libras. Some people say Libras are very social, charming, artistic, and have a natural talent for being attorneys, mediators, diplomats. And I see this in Libra. Every Libra I know, there's a softness, there's an equity to them. There is a beauty really to their energy. Really some of the nicest people that you'll meet. Libras are well-mannered, and manners matter to Librans. They want manners. They'll say hello. They're peacemakers, and they look for unity and balance. And we all have Libra somewhere in our charts. And find out which house Libra governs, and you'll see a story unpaint when it comes to that energy. Let's talk about Venus. Venus is a magical planet. Venus actually rotates in the opposite direction to most other planets. It's spinning clockwise on its axis. This means that on Venus, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east on Venus. It takes 243 days for Venus to create a rotation. And the temperature is very, very hot on Venus. It's hotter than it is on Mercury, even though it's further away from the sun, but it's hot. And I think because it represents relationships. You know, one of the toughest things that we do on the planet is relate to others, especially our personal and our love relationships. They get tough. Brightness. Venus is the second brightest natural object in the sky after the moon. Holler. So oftentimes when you see another shining star in the sky, it's Venus. You know, as they say, love is the answer. Love is the answer to everything. And Venus is here for it. Venus is named after the messenger psychopomp Mercury, and it has to do with drawing energy and gathering information from our environment. So Astro.com says the quality of time speaks of new beginnings and unexpected disruptions during this eclipse. With a bit of tact and willingness to compromise, valuable things can be created during this time of the eclipse, whether through your creative work or your relationships. For an endeavor to succeed, we will need to have courage, initiative, and trust. If you face disagreements, consider how much energy you want to spend resolving the conflict. When do you want to fold? Do you want to walk away? How much energy do you want to spend? And during this time, it might be more beneficial not to be held back by negativity, but to work for the good of all energetically. Honest efforts will resolve conflicts, and those will receive a boost. The last few weeks of Pluto being in Capricorn will not come back to Capricorn for 240 years. So it's beautiful because Capricorn being in Pluto grounds us, that grounded energy. So 240 years, this is the last time in our lifetimes that we will see Capricorn in Pluto. So that's a big darn deal. So it's requiring us to resolve and reveal and begin to end things and begin operating from our highest good. We're getting free of the restrictions of Capricorn, because while it can be grounding, it can be very restricting and very slow moving. Think of the Capricorn climbing up that mountain inch by inch and taking its time. Pluto will move into Aquarius, and this is good news, another fellow air sign to Libra, and it will stay in Aquarius for 20 years. So Aquarius is like power to the people, right on to the people. Aquarius is about equity and balance and knowledge, just like Libra. They're the studiers, they're the change, they're the implementers of change. I didn't mention that about Libras, but Libras are very instrumental in bringing great change to life. So Capricorn moving out and the restrictions that lift up with those changes. And Saturn and Neptune come together for a beautiful relationship. Energy update. So on 10/2, the new solar eclipse in Libra comes in. The first 3 days will be the peak energy, but we have 2 weeks to live out that energy. And then it's a 6-month cycle. So again, the solar eclipse comes in on 10/2. In 6 months, we'll have a lunar eclipse. And then you get to book in and complete the circle when we have that one, okay? On 10/2 will be Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. On 10/9, Jupiter will go into retrograde in Gemini, another air sign. Are you hearing all this air? Gemini, and it'll be there until February 2025. 10/11 is Yom Kippur. It's one of the solemn days in the Jewish culture. It's about expiating itself and receiving grace and reconciliation with God. Hey, thank you for joining, Maddie Creative. Thank you so much for joining. So Mercury will create a square with Pluto at 29 degrees of Libra and 29 degrees of Capricorn on the 13th. Again, Mercury's not the only planet that goes retrograde. Pluto will finally go direct on October 12th. On the 14th, Mercury will go into Scorpio. So it's getting like a pre-shadow of Scorpio season that's just around the corner. Also on the 14th, Venus opposes Uranus, and it's about out of the blue stuff. Uranus is the planet of magic and out of the blue stuff. Sudden things may come in. Maybe a sudden relationship that you've been hoping or wishing for will come through. On the 17th, 10/17, we have our full moon in Aries. 10/23, we start Scorpio season. 10/31, Halloween, and also Samhain, the goddess Samhain. Some people say it's not Samhain, folks. It's spelled Samhain, but it's Samhain. So Halloween's always a fun time, especially here in California. I think California is the only place where Halloween is a national holiday, an unofficial. Also on 10/31 through 11/1 is Diwali. Diwali is celebrated in southern India for the victory that Lord Krishna had over the demon Nakara that was oppressing women and children and people. So that's a beautiful time. So I end on this note from Yoga Journal. At its core, Libra's energy seeks to understand all sides of the equation. Libra possesses the unique skills of being able to hold two opposite truths and understanding them. This doesn't mean that one is assigned right and the other is assigned wrong. Rather, Libra teaches us to understand the whole picture before making a judgment and taking a stance. True justice prevails when the full truth is revealed. As you make your way through this eclipse, notice what truths come up for you and around you. Then ask yourself if they are really true. This eclipse is a period to question everything within you and around you, not for the sake of disproving it, but to understand it and then decide if it's true for you. I've noticed I've been watching my friends and associates during this eclipse season, and if you're really close to someone, start noticing what they're doing and how they're feeling during this time. Eclipses are magical times. It's really a time to, this is why I always say the universe has your back. We're never really truly alone. We just forget that there's this magical energy that's guiding and governing us anyway. So whenever a lunation comes on deck like this, it's very auspicious to capitalize it. Again, to recap, lots of one energy. October is the 10th month, number 1. Happening on the second day, relationships, your relationship with work, yourself, your finances, your health, your habits, all relationship, your family. Did I mention family? Your children, your kids. But also it's about creating the harmony and balance in yourself, coming from a space of love. As Dr. Phil says, we teach people how to treat us. So you ought to treat yourself so much better. And Libra season is here to help you and show you how to do that. So on Tuesday, 10/2/2024, it reduces to an 11, the high spiritual number. So fresh opportunities. It's a gateway to step away from the past. Again, it's in the South Node, to do with the past. So the lunation wants you to be able to walk freely into a new season of personal change, love, and light. Thank you so much. All the best with this new moon in Libra, this solar eclipse, this beautiful energy that's happening. Again, new moons we can't see. They're not visible in the sky. And it's about turning inward, taking the hand of strength from the inside. Thank you everybody for tuning in and listening in. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Don't forget on Tuesday, make a wish, say a prayer, write an intention. It's the time to do some manifestation work where the lunar eclipse wasn't about that. Write, journal, speak your dreams into existence. Tell someone who really cares about you what your true heart's desires are and see them bloom and blossom over the next 6 months. Namaste, everybody. Namaste.